This week, during an interview on the Kimberly Guilfoyle podcast, Karoline Leavitt, who happens to be the national press secretary for the Trump campaign, said that Trump's campaign is planning on sending soldiers to act as poll watchers during this year's election. Specifically, right, she's not talking about military soldiers. Oh, God, no. Instead, it's going to be MAGA soldiers. Die-hard Trump supporters that have nothing better to do than to sit outside a polling place and essentially intimidate voters. Here's what Ms. Leavitt had to say. We're investing a lot of money into voter integrity efforts to ensure that every American knows their ballot will be cast and counted and matter. We're not going to play defense like we unfortunately did in 2020. We're going to have soldiers, poll watchers on the ground who are making sure that there are no irregularities and fraud like we saw in the last election. Except you didn't see fraud in the last election. You lost more than 60 court cases where you argued there was fraud but had no evidence to back it up. What you're doing is using those false claims of fraud as cover to go and send your so-called soldiers to intimidate people trying to vote. Let me put it this way. A poll watcher has no authority at all. They also have no way of knowing if somebody is committing voter fraud. They don't get to look at your IDs. You don't have to show them anything. You don't even have to answer any questions they ask you. And that is important. Don't forget that. Their job is to just stand there and make sure everything's going according to plan, which is everybody's allowed to vote. That is what a poll watcher is supposed to do. If there's any irregularities happening with the system itself, that's when poll watchers call up the hotline and say, hey, they just denied this guy the right to vote. He's a legal citizen. I've got him right here. We need this remedied very quickly. That is what a poll watcher is supposed to do. But I don't think it's a coincidence either that the Trump campaign used the word soldiers, right? They always invoke that military imagery. And I can promise you, based on what we have seen from Trump supporters in the past, they use these words intentionally, right? She didn't have to say soldiers. She could have just said poll watchers. But she's calling them soldiers because she knows that these people are going to hear that and think, yes, I am a soldier. I am a soldier for the forthcoming president of the United States, and I will do his job for him. I will follow his orders. I will do whatever he asks me to do. By God, I am a soldier. And that is when they take things to the extreme. But again, I cannot emphasize this enough, and I will talk about this 1,000 more times before Election Day. If you are in line to vote, the only people you have to talk to are the people at the desk. If somebody comes up to you while you are waiting in line and they ask you, are you a legal voter? Are you a resident here? You do not have to say a word. You do not have to say a word. You do not have to get out of line when they tell you to get out of line. You only talk to the actual people that are employed as the poll workers. If they are not official staff of the city, county, state, whatever, don't say a word to them. Do not acknowledge them. Do not engage with them at all. That is the best advice I can give everybody, and I promise you I will give it to you 1,000 more times before Election Day. Do not allow yourself to be intimidated. Do not get scared of these people. They have no authority. You go and vote, and then you promptly leave. But important to not engage with them. That is the most important part. Don't cause a scene. Don't cause a fuss. Don't get into an argument. Stand in line, vote, and move along. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.